That never gets old.
Hey, wait a second, I thought you were playing Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
I only wanted to play half the game.
Which half, I know?
You know, the one that is clearly Sonic 3. No, I'm playing the full game. This is actually a hack called Sonic 3 Complete, which is what I like to consider the definitive way to play Sonic 3. Because it just fixes a lot of issues and adds a lot of new things. Like the super cancel, which we'll see later on. Oh my gosh, it is so beautiful. And other things like,
a reordered stage order.
Yeah. And so, I do find the effort Sega put years ago to be still really impressive, but I like playing Sonic 3 Complete a lot more than Sonic 3 and Knuckles. It just feels more, you know, and special stage.
Get blue spheres.
The best special stage system since ever. I'm kinda hoping this returns in Mania. Because, seriously. Or something.
Of course, even if it doesn't, all we have to do is load up Sonic 1 and Sonic and Knuckles cart. And then we've got blue sphere.
Yeah, I might do a project. And a never-ending project involving blue spheres. I've been thinking about it.
Just sort of a pastime project?
Yeah. Kind of akin to Impossible Spell Card, except it never ends. Because seriously,
you think you found the ending, and then we find another number for you to run.
But seriously, how many levels are in that game?
Well, there was also one level for every Sega Genesis card.
And then,
except for Sonic 2.
Sonic 1 just gave you all the levels!
All the levels.
Yeah, so I'm not going for a perfect here because, yeah, with the no damage
that's kind of a lot of time.
And 1 emerald per act, because I did 1 emerald per act rather than 1 emerald per zone, because I wanted to have Super Sonic this time around. But, yeah. English?
We're good at English. We promise.
Somewhat. There is actually one act where I did have to break the rule very late into the game in order to be able to get all of the Super Emeralds by the end of Lava Reef Act 2. So...
And that's because of the change in the level order.
Yeah, but even then, I don't know if Hyper Rings appear in Flying Battery in the correct level order or not. I'd need to check that.
They do appear in Flying Battery proper, I just don't remember if they're in FB1 or not.
So...
I know there's at least one in Flying Battery too.
Oh well. But yeah, I'm not going for perfects with Sonic. I did go for perfects when I recorded Knuckles' story, but that'll be later. And I also, for that story, I removed the restriction of 1 emerald per act, so that'll be fun. Well, that was fun. I already recorded in advance, just like I recorded this in advance, but technicalities, man. Technicalities. So, yeah, that was a mid-boss. Oh, by the way...
That was certainly a mid-boss.
Sonic 3 adds mid-bosses to the mix. Dun 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 dun, iconic level, clear theme, jingle thing.
I don't know, I think the original level clear theme looked better.
Yeah. And time for another special stage.
No wait, that was Sonic 2.
That was
Let's
Sonic
get more
1
blue
and 2.
spheres.
So yeah, the way Blue Sphere's special stages work, for those who aren't in the know, if you go around the outer side of, what's the word? Encircle?
If you get all of the blue spheres on the perimeter.
Yeah, and it's not just a ring like this, then they'll turn into rings. So that's a good way to really easily...
Save time.
Yeah. I wonder if it's possible to beat all of them without the encircling trick, though.
It's possible, it's just a lot harder than it needs to be.
I see. Yeah.
Because for some of these special stages, the routing for doing it without making rings is just kind of ridiculous. Of course, you pretty much have to do similar routing if you're getting perfects on it anyway, so it's kind of potato-tomato.
Well, there's 2 of 7 emeralds down. It's interesting. If not for the halfway split between Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles due to the delay thing, or the... Well, yeah. I don't think Hypersonic would actually exist.
It really wouldn't. If I remember the narrative correctly, the reason Hypersonic exists is precisely because they were split into 2 games, and they had to find some justification for having the Sonic and Knuckles special stages.
Well, there you have it. That explains why they don't really use Hypersonic.
Reappear.
Yeah. Also, I'd like to point out something. As opposed to the previous 2 games,
that was cool.
Yeah. I focused a bit less on speedrunning except for in certain sections. I do a few tricks here and there, but mainly for the bosses, but more... I feel like this game is the one that most accentuates that Sonic is more a momentum-based platformer than a speed-based platformer out of the 3 Genesis titles.
Of course, with that said, watching no-zip speedruns of this game is still something to behold.
Well, yeah, because those people know what they're doing.
Well, as you proved the other week, you are still a better Sonic 3 player than I am.
Well... You just had a bit of bad luck in, against the Big Arm.
I haven't actually shown you my input file, have I?
Yeah, I've been meaning to ask you if you could send it to me soon.
I can do that today, actually.
Yay. Okay, so are you ready to see the riskiest boss battle ever? Or at least the riskiest start to a boss battle ever.
Yep.
Well, after this flying battery section, a preview of a stage we'll see later on. Though not as later as people will think. I just know there's gonna be some people who are surprised by the fact that that flying battery's gonna come so soon. So yeah, watch how I handle this first bit.
Ooh, that was risky.
Yeah, I completely botched that up, but, you know, whatever. Style points. So yeah, I believe this is the Fire Egg, and that mid-boss from Act 1 is called Flame Breath.
Flame Breath, I breathe fire on you.
And... you saw that.
Yep.
Sonic... I wasn't even trying to do that, it just happened. And here's another glitch. This one's pretty popular. Yeah. Also, you'll notice
this one was also intention.
Yeah. You'll notice that Knuckles' colors are not pink with yellow socks in this case.